Hi everyone, I'm back again and I'm going to be sharing some cards that I created using the beautiful Northern Lights paper from Blue Night rubber stamps. Let's get started. These are the Northern Light paper from Blue Night rubber stamp, the Northern Lights designer paper. You get 25 cards. They are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 A2 size. There are 6 different designs, 5 different designs on the front and then one on the back. And these are the beautiful designs that feature the Northern Lights. So this is what the back looks like. I love the back of these papers are amazing. Some of the most beautiful cards I think I've ever made because of these papers. Were made with these papers. All right, so I have the Sun Moon Circles stencil from Blue Night rubber stamps. I am using some white ink. This is white pigment ink. It's Hero Arts Unicorn White ink. I do try it with the white, but then I actually go in with some silver metallic ink. Because you'll see here in a second once I move this stencil back. The white looks okay, but I was looking for something a little bit more opaque. I don't want it to be see-through. You can kind of see through this a little bit. So I thought, okay, well, let's try some silver pigment ink. So I grabbed my good old color box silver pigment ink. And I'm using a foam dome blending tool. And I'm just going to put that stencil back down and use this ink on that shape, that circle. Now this paper that I'm using is not the paper that I used to create my card with. I'm just doing this for the sake of an example. Unfortunately, my video did not capture me creating my metallic silver moon for the paper that I selected for the card that I'm going to make. But this is to illustrate how this metallic silver pigment ink really looks great. It makes a wonderful moon. I think you'll agree. All right, let's go ahead and reveal how nice that looks. Isn't it incredible? You can make a big moon, small moon. I just went with a medium size moon, and I'm pleased with the results. Now I'm going to grab the Silhouette Stag stamp from Blue Night rubber stamps. This is the background paper that I selected for this card. I'm using Versafine ink. I'm using a magnetic ink handle from Blue Night rubber stamps to hold my ink. And this is the actual back side of the paper. And see, you can position it in the other direction if you want. Okay, so I inked up the stamp. I'm just using my pressure tool. I have a video how I created this with a candle lid and some glue and some glitter and a piece of felt. Just gives me a little bit more strength. I have really bad arthritis in my hands. I am going to re-ink this again. But yeah, that little tool gives me something to hold on to and add the pressure that I need. With having arthritis, it's sometimes hard to get the pressure. All right, I'm going to use the Trio Pines stamp from Blue Night rubber stamps. I'm going to go ahead and grab the large stamp, place it on the left hand side and position that, and then I'll go ahead and stamp that, ink that up and stamp it, I'm going to use a piece of acetate, and before I decide where my placement's going to be, just the acetate helps me with my placement to make sure that I have that stamp exactly where I want it. I just have a piece of acetate that I had in my stash, and that's what I use. If you don't have acetate, you can use like packaging from a stamp set or something. once I have it where I want it, I will re-ink my stamp. And I'm going to, I did erase with my little towel there some of that tree stem. I was just trying to make it look like the correct layering. You don't really have to do that if you don't want to, I don't think. Anyways, I take the large stamp and I go ahead and grab my acetate again. I'm getting all the ink off of it from before. Make sure you do that each time, because once you lay it back down, that ink will transfer to your paper that you're stamping on. And then I decide to just move that over a little bit, that stamp, closer to having some of it overlap with the moon. I'm really happy with how this looks. This is a great card for masculine, obviously. Oh, I guess I am still using the acetate here. So I go ahead and finish fixing my placement. Yeah, the acetate really comes in handy. But this would be a great card for Father's Day, for male birthday, a sympathy card, a get well card. I took that small Trio Pines stamp, the smallest one, and I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to use it on the right hand side when I stamp this. I go ahead and erase a little bit of the tree trunk at the bottom. That way it will allow me to go ahead in with that small pine tree. This is all in your own preference. You don't have to do the technique that I just did, where I erased some of the ink off the stamp. All right. I have a lot of ink going on here, so. All right, this is that small Trio Pine. I'm just going to stamp it there. To me, it looks like there's a little bit of underbrush under the tree. Now, you'll notice there's a little bit of a gap here. I did place the stamp up a little bit higher on the paper than down at the bottom. But you can take your ink and you can use this small eye makeup applicator. It's actually a tool that I have for, it's not really an eye makeup applicator. It's a sponge from my Pan Pastels that I use for this ink. But I'm trying to stamp here at the bottom so that I can get that silhouette embankment where the stag is standing. So I did this on purpose. I wanted the stag's antlers to be near the moon. I actually could have moved it up a little bit higher on the page, but this is what I ended up with, and I'm happy with how it turned out. I'm just using a piece of scratch paper underneath there so I don't get ink all over my desk. And that's what it looks like when it's done. Easy card, 5-minute card. Definitely these Northern Lights papers are so beautiful, and you can create some gorgeous cards with the silhouette stamps from Blue Night Rubber Stamps. So hold on a second, I'll show you a close-up of this card and of my other card that I don't have a video for, but I can tell you how I created it. And I forgot to mention, I'll have all of the products that I'm using linked below in my description box. So this is another piece of that Northern Lights paper. The stamps I'm using here, the silhouette rocks and trees, frame it, and then I took the coyote that are howling, or the wolves that are howling. That's from Mama Bear and Friends stamp set. And then I took sharing in your sadness. And that is from Sincere Condolences One Line Sentiments stamp. And then I took my white gel pen and I just put some little dots in the background at the top to represent stars. Sorry I didn't have a video for this one. It did not transfer when I was working on this card, but it's pretty easy to make, and I matted it on a piece of navy cardstock. Here are both of my cards. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please leave a comment below. What do you think about these Northern Light papers? And don't forget to subscribe if you're not a subscriber. All of these things are greatly appreciated. They don't cost you anything, but they are helping me to grow my channel. I have 4,200 subscribers. I'm trying to get up to 5,000. So your support is greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Have a hopeful day. Bye-bye.